Moran.
Mike, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike, thanks for organizing this morning's press conference. Mike and I have been working on a joint resolution, House and Senate joining together to send a clear message to the administration that the negotiations that are ongoing at the United Nations will be met with rejection by Congress and certainly by the Senate that has the constitutional responsibility to confirm, to ratify any treaty that might be negotiated. This issue has a long history. Last year, we first of all sent a letter to the White House and to the Secretary of State indicating that any treaty that they negotiate that violates the Second Amendment rights would be rejected by the United States Senate, not ratified. And 50 senators joined in that letter, and that sentiment was expressed by both Republicans and Democrats. Last year, the negotiations at the United Nations fell apart, and many of us breathed a sigh of relief. Unfortunately, President Obama, the day after the election, reinstituted the administration's involvement in those negotiations at the United Nations, and we expect, in fact, the expectation is that this month, here next week, the final negotiations on an arms trade treaty would be concluded at the United Nations. And so we come here today with one more demonstration about our genuine care and concern about American rights, the Second Amendment, the ability for Americans to make decisions as compared to the United Nations, and a joint resolution will be introduced today that has broad support by members of the United States Senate and the House of Representatives, expressing once again to the administration, do not negotiate a treaty that will infringe upon the liberties and freedoms of American citizens. And so I commend my colleague Mike Kelly from Pennsylvania for joining us in this effort, and we're delighted to have the House of Representatives join the United States Senate in an effort to make clear that certain rights are not to be negotiated away by the Obama administration. And I'm especially pleased to be joined by my colleague, Senator Roberts from Kansas, who has been a leader in this effort and who has signed on to every piece of legislation, every letter, and now this concurrent resolution to make certain that the position of Congress is known. So thank you to my colleagues. Thank you all for being here. Oh, I should introduce Doug Lamborn. And I'm happy to do that. And so Representative Lamborn from Colorado Springs in Colorado, he arrived there by way of the University of Kansas, and we're delighted to be joined by Doug.